Hey guys, how you doing? Bob Connor here once again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at John Wick 4, which was released, I think it came out a few months ago. Not too sure, but it was at the cinema. A few months before that. I'm not sure if it was March or April. I can't remember which exactly, but I never went to see it at the cinema. I only actually just watched this earlier on today for the first time. Usually I don't watch the new releases until the end of the year. Usually I wait for them all to come out. All the films that have come out, I usually wait for them to come out and get them at the end of the year. But this time I thought, because I needed this for my John Wick collection, and I needed to do the video for this channel, like the collection of all 4 movies, I decided to get it early. And also I wanted to do the review on it as well, so I just got it and just watched it earlier on, and I have to say, yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest. I mean, Keanu Reeves is absolutely fantastic. He's fantastic in all the other John Wick films. And he's absolutely fantastic in this as well. Have to give credit to him for, coming back, from after doing the Matrix films and then making another film and then coming and doing all these John Wick films. It's got to say that he's come back strong and on top of his game, like he was, in the Matrix films when he was on top of his game. And then he's sort of he made the odd film now and again after he did the Matrix, but then he come back strong and better than ever doing these John Wick films. And I thought there was only going to be one John Wick film at the beginning, and then there turned out to be 4. I'm not sure if there's going to be a part 5, but I'm sure there's possibility that there will be, because he's very popular now. But as I said, this is pretty good, to be honest. It's it's got a lot of action in it. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm just going to say that it's, point bits out. As I said, it is really good, and the action is absolutely fantastic, and Reeves is really good. And there's the other guy that's in it. I can't think of his name. He's a blind guy, blind Japanese guy, and he's a really good character. I really like him, and his fighting in this is really fantastic. He's a really good character that added to this, and there's a few other characters as well that are new. But yeah, it's pretty good all the way through, to be honest, and the action is pretty good. And yeah, it's really takes it up a notch from previous films. A lot of the scenes, stuff not been done before, and they've really tried a lot to do a lot with this. And yeah, it's brutal, and it's just like, I mean, there's a lot of the scenes, the action scenes, they go on for ages. Some films I've watched, fight scenes don't last 5-10 minutes. They go, but some of these scenes last, I'm sure, at least the first massive action scene lasts about 20 minutes, or they just go on and on, and they're just like non-stop, long, good fighting scenes. Sometimes you need a breather yourself after watching it. Sorry, a bit tired at the moment. Yeah, I mean some of the fighting scenes just go on for ages, and it's pretty epic and just non-stop. Um, it's not non-stop all the way through, but it's sort of like 15 minutes, 20 minutes between each sort of major fight scene, and then it just sort of starts again. It just goes on for ages. The only issues that I will say with this is that it's really long. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes or so, and I think it's probably maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes too long. Um, all right, and it's maybe the final chapter, but I think I think any film shouldn't be longer than 2 hours and 20 minutes, if that. Um, I think that's more than enough. Something like 2:45, nearly 3 hours is quite a long time for any movie. It's just a bit long, but long but good. And the only other issues is, I'd say, is apart from the time, the Reeves uses a handgun for quite a lot of the duration of the time. I mean, he changes now and again, but it's quite sort of repetitive. He uses the handgun a lot to take out a lot of guys. So it's sort of repetitive, the same sort of thing where he's just shooting the same, not the same villain, but he's shooting, you know, loads and loads of people with the same gun, and it's sort of seeing the same thing over and over again with him just shooting, and using the same weapon. It sort of gets to a period where it's sort of doing the same thing over and over again, like killing 20 bad guys with the same gun. It's sort of like, and you think, oh, just needs to change your guns more often, and take a few people out with more weaponry rather than just keep using the same gun. I mean, it's to say he does use guns, but then he tends to change gun and then go back to the handgun, but which is, it's like, you see it loads and loads of times with him just using the same gun. And also, it feels like, rather than a film, at times, especially towards sort of like, I don't know, the last 40 minutes or so, it sort of feels like it sort of goes into sort of like, it feels like a computer game where he's sort of like going through the levels and taking out people. It sort of goes at a long distance angle, so it looks like sort of a computer. It sort of gives you that feeling like sort of, I don't know, it sort of starts off like a film, but then, and the action is sort of like filmy, but then it sort of goes off and then becomes sort of like, it seems to be like it's a computer game, sort of he's sort of going through the levels and taking out villains. It sort of doesn't seem to be more of a filmy, where it's just, he's just doing the same thing over and over again, just doing, shooting people, and it's just going through the levels, rather than like if you see James Bond, he doesn't just go through villains' place and just shooting, transitions from like hand-to-hand combat. Sometimes he gets captured, then he escapes, then he fights the villains. It's sort of like different bits and pieces, but with this it's sort of like the same thing over and over again. But I mean, that's the only issue, time, doing the same thing again and again, and sort of like going into a computer game. But other than that, it is really good, and I did enjoy it, and I will watch it again. But yeah, it's really good, despite those things. But yeah, it's really enjoyable, and I really liked it, so I thought I'd do this review on it. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check that out. And yeah, so guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more vids. And oh yeah, John Wick, all 4 movies, the collection is coming up right after this video. So if you like John Wick, stay tuned for the full collection and talking about it as well. So don't forget to subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye for now. See you soon.